differentiated between the words bishop and elder and shepherd and presbyter. In the New Testament, they're synonymous terms. They all refer to the same office. I mean it. Now, you just pursue this study in the Scriptures, and you'll find it very interesting that a bishop is the same as an elder in the church, or pastor. The word pastor refers to a bishop or an elder, a shepherd, presbyteros, presbyter in the church. But that's not what I am thinking about today. It's 1 Timothy chapter 3, and the qualifications of one who would be a bishop or an elder in the church are listed there. If a man desires the office of bishop, he desires a good work. And then it begins the list. And I'm telling you, this is important. The older I get, the more convinced I am that we can't fudge on any of these. We can't compromise any of the qualifications of the elders without really doing great damage to the church. And you got to bear in mind, always remember, the church doesn't belong to us, it belongs to Christ. He died for it. And so if we're going to please Him, what we've got to do is to conform ourselves to His will, and the church must be governed by His last will and testament, which is the New Testament, and that's applicable in reference to the elders. So who will we select to be elders in the church, or the bishops of the church? And the answer is, we've got to go to 1 Timothy chapter 3 or Titus 1 and look at those qualities and make sure that the men we select have those qualities. Now, it's important that every congregation of the Lord's people seek to find men who have these qualities. It may take some time. You know, a young church may not have men who are qualified yet. It may take a little time, but they ought to always be seeking and working toward that. In Titus 1 and verse 5, the Bible says that they were to ordain elders in every city. In Acts 14, to ordain elders in every church. And so this is very, very important. Anyway, back to the qualifications. In 1 Timothy 3, if a man desires the office of a bishop, he desires a good work. A bishop then must be, now watch this, it's imperative. He must be these things. The first one is blameless, but the second one is he must be the husband of one wife. Fascinating. What would that prohibit? Well, it would prohibit, of course, somebody who was polygamous. If he was the husband of 5 wives, then he wouldn't be qualified. He's got to be the husband of one wife. But also, of course, it would prohibit a single man. I mean, you know that sometimes religions today play around with this, and they will call men elders who are single men, but that's illegitimate. You see, this says, the Scriptures plainly say, a man who is in this role must be the husband of one wife. But I want you to think farther with me about this wife business in reference to elders. Is it so critical? I mean, maybe we should say it this way. Why is it so critical that a man who is an elder be a married man? I think the answers are found among these qualifications in 1 Timothy chapter 3. I'm saying that a man cannot be a successful elder if he doesn't have a wife. Furthermore, if he doesn't have a wife who is supportive of what he's doing in the work of the church. Think about some of these qualities. One of them is that he rules well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. You reckon a man can rule well his own house if his wife isn't supportive of it? I mean, he may have all the parenting qualities, the good qualities that you can imagine, but suppose his wife is counter to that. Everything he tries to teach his children, she teaches the opposite. You know what's going to happen, don't you? You're going to see negative qualities come up in those kids, those children. No matter how hard he may work, if his wife isn't supportive of good parenting, it'll be a failure. He can't rule well his own house, having his children in subjection, as the Bible says, if his wife's not supportive of it. What about the final one? The final one is about his reputation outside the church. The King James translation says that he must have a good report of them that are without. Other translations describe it as it's just what you'd think. It's about his reputation in the community. Well, I would submit that he can't do this successfully without a wife who is supportive. He may be a fine man and honest as the day is long, but suppose his wife isn't. Suppose she defrauds the merchants in town. Suppose if she takes out loans and debts and doesn't pay them. Suppose her language isn't what it should be. Suppose she dresses in a way that is loose and her morals are loose. I don't care how serious her husband might be about his reputation. that's going to attach itself to him too. And again, the point is that without a wife who's supportive, he can never be successful as an elder in the church. What I want you to think about today is the importance of elders' wives and the reasons why God in His infinite wisdom designated that a man who would lead the church as shepherd or bishop or pastor or presbyter, elder in the church, that he had to be a married man. That the reason is, as we've been discussing, and of course you could go farther with this, but the reason is that a man cannot successfully lead the church of God if he doesn't have a wife who's supporting him. Have a good day.
God be with you till we meet again. By His counsels guide uphold you. With His sheep securely fold you. God
Speech on.
be with you till
AirPlay or controls. Wi-Fi. AirPlay 100. Orientate. Alarm set. Image. Next. Stop. Previous. Song. Data. AirPlay or controls. Wi-Fi. Switch button. AirDrop. Switch button. On. Page 1 of 3. Screen mirroring. Right. Selected. Screen recording. Open controls. Brightness. Selected. Screen recording. Button.